Today is my first day of sapping season. It's still a little cold today, but tomorrow promises to be warmer, and I've been hearing reports that the rest of the month is looking good. So hopefully we'll have a good run and not too much freeze up activity going on. Time to get the buckets out. So we've got all our buckets and our lids. I brought the sled out. Load that up. Also here have my hammer, my drill. This is my cordless drill, and all the pickets and spiles that I should need. So I'm gonna load up. Uh-oh. Benjamin just stole my sled. First thing I'm going to do is distribute the buckets and lids to each of the trees that are going to get tapped. Then I'll go back and tap them. Benjamin says his toes are cold, so we'll go put him in the shop. Warm up. All right, so what we're tapping here, in case I forgot to mention, these are sugar trees, sugar maples, or hard maples is another name for them. There's rock maple, or probably a bunch of names for them, depending on where you're standing. I'm doing here is selecting trees with nice crowns. You can see our road is pretty much lined with them, so it makes it a pretty blissful chore for me. Rather than trudging out through the woods to find my maple trees, I just walk up the road. All right, here's a couple dandies. Let's see, that one and that one. And as you look up the tree, you'll see they have nice full crowns. The tops of these trees are big, you know, and there's a lot of little limbs spreading out, which are going to catch the sun like a solar collector. That's what helps to pump the sap up the trunk. Now this tree over here, it's every bit as much a rock maple as the rest of them. But if you look up, see the top is pretty sparse. It's not a healthy tree. In fact, it had a twin right here. It died and rotted away and left this cavity. It must miss its twin because it has not done well since then. So I'm going to let that one go. These guys over here, those two are dandies. They got a nice little top started. And the sun comes right across like this, so these trees get a lot of sunshine early in the season like this before the leaves come out. I want to point out this lovely specimen here. This is not a maple tree. This is a bass tree, which we are blessed to have growing in our woods around here. This is a grand example of one. I'm saving it for my retirement. Carving, you know. It's a very lovely wood to carve. No trees at all. You might say, that's not a bass tree, that's an ash tree. Well, it looks like an ash tree, but it's not. You see in the summer, great big heart-shaped leaves. On the property here, we have several species of maple trees growing right here all together. And this one, dead center in front of you, panning up, is rock maple. Lovely crown. I'm gonna tap couple buckets on that one. Now this one over here, it's kind of tangled in the bushes here. That is a red maple. Okay, you can get sugar out of a red maple and it's sweet, but it does require more sap to get the same amount of syrup. Rock maples have a 40 to 43 to 1 ratio of sap to sugar, so it takes 40 or 43 gallons of rock maple sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. I'm not sure what the ratio is on the reds, but you can, if you look up, you'll be able to see there both of the tops together. If you look at the buds, the tips of the little tiny limbs on the red maple, you see little buds forming already. And on the rock maple, you don't. They're just a little twigs, and that's a dead giveaway. Tapping now, a little basket of tricks here. Cordless drill. This tree's big enough to sport too. I like to keep it up a little ways, but as close, you know, not too far up. You don't want to put it up too far. I don't. And you always tip your auger a little bit uphill as you go in, so that the water or sap will run downhill. I drill in about 2 inches and get to where I'm going to stop. I keep turning the same way, but pull out, and that pulls all the shavings out with it so that it doesn't clog up. Quite often when we're tapping, the weather's a little nicer and you get what we call a gasha. That's when the sap comes boiling out of there faster than you can get your drill out of the way. But that's not going to happen today. Tomorrow, these should all be running nice. I put lids on these buckets. As I mentioned before, there's approximately a 40-to-1 ratio of sap to syrup. All that extra stuff is with water. So if it's raining or snowing, you don't want more water in your bucket than you need. So we put a lid on it. It also helps keep debris. Squirrels climb up the tree, knock bark down, bugs fall in, things like that. You don't want to have happen. Helps protect them from all those things. So we're gonna put another one on here. I like these old cast iron spigots myself. Very nice, classic design. You tap until the tone changes. When the tone changes, you know you've set it as far as it's going to go. Check if there's no bugs in it. Good. I was teasing around about my cordless drill and everything, but it dawned on me that you might like to know its real name. I'll introduce you to my brace. This part of the drill is called a brace, and it's because you'll see I brace this part, which spins up against my body. Depends on where the hole is you're drilling as to what part you're pushing against. And this is called the bit. So together they're referred to as a brace and bit. People have traditionally used those for drilling their maple trees for years because cordless drills hadn't been invented. Kind of gotten away from it because you get an electric drill that just I use these things all the time. I'd rather grab this than the electric drill. Just easier, more portable, quieter. You can listen to the birds sing. And I'm kind of a weirdo that way. I like old tools. Here we are. Very next day. It's so balmy out, hardly need a coat. I want to show you what a sap run is supposed to sound like. Success, we've got sap running. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like and all that. Thanks for keeping me company, and have a great one. Talk to you later.